Welcome into the Brooks Bench with your host Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host Brooke.
What's up, y'all?
And Megan.
What's up?
Alrighty, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, follow us on all social media, and if you want to keep up to date with everything, follow our or join our Discord. Link is in our description. But let's get into Week 13's recap. So, a lot of injuries, some unfortunate ones that we'll be going over. Cheyenne Parker-Tyus out for the rest of the season, with her ankle injury. Angel Reese out for the rest of the season with her wrist. They did show the replay of when it might have occurred. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was a hard foul, and she fell like right on it, and then it was kind of bugging her. Fun fact, though, she did shoot that last three with her hurt wrist. So
I saw her like Instagram, and it was like, didn't think I'd end my rookie season on a 3, but it's kind of funny.
I mean, but she had a great season, one that's going to be memorable, broke a lot of records. Obviously, I do think that, Caitlin Clark wins Rookie of the Year, but she's going to make all rookie team, and who knows what else, maybe. But definitely had a great season. Tiffany Mitchell, she's going to be out indefinitely with an illness. Connecticut thinks she'll be back at some point this season, but they're unsure. Erin McDonald, I believe, is day-to-day. We are recording during the Dallas-Chicago game, and then Connecticut and Los Angeles played later, so we won't have the update today. Rebecca Allen's still out with her hamstring. Shakira Austin actually came back on a minute restriction today. This one was shocking. Asia Wilson, lower leg injury. They said it was precautionary. She was out today versus New York. So hopefully, fingers crossed, again, just maintenance. And then Benija Laney, scary injury during the game. Her knee, I think it's the same knee that she had the procedure on. So we'll have to see what they say, but it did not look too good. Some transactions. We had Queen Egbo signing a 7-day contract with Las Vegas. I like it. We need another big. I don't know if they're going to keep her or if they're going to play her, but I like the idea of it. Amy Atwell signed a 7-day contract with Phoenix. Celeste Taylor signs a rest of season contract with Phoenix. And then Odyssey Sims signs a rest of season contract with LA. I do have a question about Celeste Taylor. Do you guys see her on a team full-time next year? I feel like she's doing really well with Phoenix.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she'll make a team.
Think it'll be Phoenix?
It could be. There's a lot of unknowns with Phoenix.
I know.
So
Phoenix has been
like that's just every year with Phoenix.
But I think it would be a smart move to keep young talent like that.
Yeah, I agree.
With Diana getting older, I mean, you're gonna have to build it, especially probably around Copper, because she's gonna be their new guard if they hold on to her.
Very true, very true. But okay, let's get into some lengthy news. LA Sparks have been eliminated from playoffs. Dallas also is in danger of being eliminated from playoffs today if they lose. Indiana and Phoenix both clinched playoffs. Indiana is in the playoffs for the first time since 2016, snapping the longest drought in league history. And Chrissy Sides is the first Indiana Fever coach to earn Coach of the Month honors since 2017. Good for you. Caitlin Clark is also the first rookie to be named WNBA Player of the Month since 2010. I'm just going to say it. I think Kelsey Mitchell should have got it. Player of the Month. I think we've talked about it before. She's getting overshadowed by Caitlin Clark, but I mean, she's one of the main reasons they're winning games as well. Like, you can't have one without the other, right? So that was a bummer for her. Caitlin Clark, though, is also the 5th player with multiple triple-doubles in a WNBA season, joining Alyssa Thomas, Courtney Williams, Sabrina, and Candace. She's also the only rookie with a triple-double and now has 2. Dearica Hamby on pace to finish the season in the top 20 in points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, steals per game, and field goal percentage. She'd be the 11th W player to ever do it, joining Candace Parker, Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore, Cheryl Swoops. Okay. This is a lot. Tamika Catching, Swin Cash, Penny Taylor, Nafisa Collier, Alyssa Thomas, and Brandy Reed. Chelsea Gray is the 8th player in WNBA regular season history with 3,500 points, 1,500 assists, and 1,000 rebounds. She got there in 320 games. Lindsay Whalen was the only other player to do it faster at 294 games. Ryan Howard, on fire, has become the first Dream player since Angela McCoughtry in 2013 to put up 30. to put up consecutive 30-plus point performances. The guard scored 31 points against Phoenix on September 3rd and recorded 30 points to play. Wait, what? And has recorded 30 points with 19.2 seconds remaining to play in the fourth in today's game. She's also the third player in WNBA regular season history to have 30-plus points and 4+ 3 points made in 3 consecutive games. I think Ryan Howard is actually Atlanta's saving grace. I don't know if you guys have been paying close attention to Atlanta, but she's on fire. She's peaking at the right time, especially since she was struggling in the first half of the season. But we'll talk more about Atlanta during our recap. Aaliyah Boston, 30 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 11 from 16 from the field, is the third player in the WNBA to finish a game with that stat line. She joins Candace Parker and Sabrina. And then lastly, Nisha Wilson picked up her 16th career 30-point and 10-rebound game, passing Tina Charles for the most in WNBA history. She's also closing in on the highest single-season player efficiency rating in WNBA history, 36.47. And the closest was Lauren Jackson in 2007. I really think this MVP should be unanimous. I know we've talked about it. We're hesitant on saying it's going to be unanimous. Do you guys change your mind on that stance?
I think it's going to be unanimous. I don't see how it can't.
I don't see how it can't be either, but there's always that one person. That fourth place voter is not going to do it. She's going to have one second place vote, and it's going to be that person.
Right.
Allison Barber, president and COO of the Indiana Fever, stepping down at the end of the season. She'll move on to lead the Marvella, I hope I said that right, project, which aims to empower girls and women through sports. Dope. Attendance in the WNBA this regular season is now over 2 million total, just the 5th season to reach that mark, and the first since 2003. So they're actually at 2 million and counting. So they might actually break the highest record, which is, I think, 2.4 in 2002.
I want to know what happened from 2004 to 2024.
It was booming. All the big names.
And that wasn't even the start of the league. That was several years after.
That is true. They had some good names between this time, though, right here.
I know, but there's also good names between 03 and 2024.
Well, hey, people like new stuff. It was kind of new. It was still new then. So they're like, oh, yeah. And then it kind of just went, stagnant.
And they had some of the cool teams, too.
Yeah. That's when all the champs, see? That's why. There was dynasties,
Yeah, people miss good basketball then.
Yeah. And then an update on the playoff schedule. So the WNBA playoffs will begin on September 22nd with 4 games being played 1 p.m. on ESPN, 3 p.m. on ABC, 5 p.m. on ESPN, and then 10 p.m. on ESPN, all Eastern time. And then the remaining first round games will be on September 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th on ESPN2. And then semifinals will be on September 29th, 3 p.m. on ABC, 8:30 p.m. on ESPN, October 1st, ESPNU, and then October 4th, ESPN2, and then October 6th and October 8th. Those will be to be determined. So, man, season's already coming to an end. It's crazy. Playoffs are around the corner. Playoffs are going to be insane. I think there's going to be a lot of upsets. I don't think there's not really a favorite. I think anyone can beat anyone, honestly.
Yeah.
But let's go into the Week 13 recap of the game. Some big upsets, some big wins, especially for all the teams that are trying to clinch that 8th seed. So we had Seattle defeating Connecticut 71-64. Before I start, are you guys concerned about Connecticut?
I mean, AT hasn't been doing good since she kind of got injured and was out the rest of that game. And then she's come back and she's been playing, but it's like she's not been playing like she was before that injury. So I'm a little concerned about her and whether or not, without her being completely healthy, can the rest of the team still pull it off? So
yeah,
I don't know.
So you would say that Alyssa Thomas not being herself is going to lose them games?
I think so. I know that Brianna Jones has really stepped up since, right?
Yeah, she's doing good.
I think down the stretch, if she's not herself during playoffs, then that's going to be a big loss for them, kind of.
But then So, okay. So you say Brianna Jones steps up. So who else besides Brianna Jones needs to step up for them to carry without
I mean,
Alyssa
the whole
Thomas?
team, right?
Yeah.
Mabry. I mean, that's
Yeah.
points and assists. Like you think about what AT brings to the game. Like she rebounds, assists, and scores. And even if she's not like scoring, she's usually facilitating and getting a lot of the assists and rebounds. So to me, if she's not able to still do that, they're gonna struggle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So like I said, Seattle defeats Connecticut. Skylar Diggins-Smith, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Jewel Lloyd, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And DeWanna Bonner led Connecticut, 26 points, 7 rebounds. I want to say Skylar Diggins has been on a roll. I think she's keeping them afloat a little bit there. And Nneka. Ezzy and Jewel kind of fell off a little bit. Not their usual, like, dominance. But with the addition of, Skylar Diggins and Nneka, I think, it's cut into that a little bit. But Seattle, I love it. Washington had 2 big wins, and I know them defeating Dallas isn't crazy, but Dallas is also competing for that 8th seed, so I did want to mention it. So the first they defeated Dallas 90-86, and then they defeated Phoenix 90-77. I was telling you guys, a healthy Washington. But then I saw Atlanta, and Atlanta does look good. Atlanta's looking good. With that said, Dallas, if they lose today, they're out. They're out of the mix. But Phoenix has lost consecutive games here. Are we panicking about Phoenix?
No, Phoenix wasn't going to be going very far for me anyways, so no.
Like a first round loss?
Yeah.
Okay. Meg?
Yeah, I kind of said it, I think last week that,
Yeah.
Phoenix was potentially going to drop down, but I mean, I don't see them going far. I can see them losing first round in the playoffs anyway. So
bummer. I'm curious to see what they do next year because really, like, how long is Diana gonna play? Brittany's getting older. They don't really have bench depth of young players. Kalia Copper's obviously gonna be there a while. I don't know what Phoenix.
I mean,
is really
the thing is too with them is that they weren't just like good losses, if that makes sense, like close game losses. They were kind of blowouts. Like it was like right from the jump, they just are behind. They're playing behind the whole time. So like that's concerning.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't play like that come playoffs because
exactly
everyone's good right now.
Exactly. But Washington got depth. I like the rotation. I like Emily Engstler. We all liked Emily Engstler coming out of college. I was bummed when she didn't make a team. So I'm glad she's shining. Against Dallas, she had 19 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Brittany Sykes, Arrow Atkins, they switch off days of who's gonna pop off. And then I just like their supporting cast. They're young. Washington has a bright future. They just need to stay healthy. That's Washington's problem. They're always hurt.
And then maybe they'll get Deladon back too.
I'm curious to see if that happens. I think Deladon wants to get traded.
Big if.
I don't think she wants to come back. I think she wants to go to a new team. I just don't know what team.
I think honestly, if they don't release her, she's just gonna retire.
Yeah, or she's just gonna keep sitting out.
Like officially.
I'm curious to see what she does. There was rumors I remember before the season that she wanted to go to Vegas, which would have been so helpful. It would have been so
I don't know why, but I get Connecticut vibes.
Okay. I would say come to Vegas. That would be crazy. That would be so helpful. But curious to see what she does.
That is Vegas MO though. Let's get the oldest player we can
with
find.
Injury risk. With injury risk.
And add them to the lineup for our core 4. Yeah.
Exactly. Beautiful. Speaking of Vegas, they did defeat Connecticut 72-67. And I'm pretty sure this is the game where they came all the way back because of Kelsey Plum. And Connecticut.
This is what I love about Kelsey Plum, but I also really hate about Kelsey Plum is that when everybody else is doing great, she's always just off somewhere. But she'll make up for it on defense, right? Or being a teammate. But when everybody's off, Kelsey Plum is popping off.
To the rescue.
It's just I feel like she could never be on the same page as everybody. And it's a love-hate relationship I have with her.
Well, it's also like, how can all four of them always be on? Like, that's so hard.
Mhm.
And I'm glad Kelsey Plum had this game coming off the rest because they sat her for rest. She popped off, saved the day against Connecticut. Asia Wilson, 20 points, 8 rebounds. Unfortunately, Asia got hurt this game, which led her to sit out today. Brianna Jones, 17.6 rebounds for Connecticut. But, I mean, we saw at the beginning of the game, I was like, oh my God, Connecticut is kicking out, beating us
Mhm.
up. And then, Kelsey Plum to the rescue, 27 points. And I mean, you're right. Kelsey Plum can pop off and really save the day. But
Yeah.
sometimes, not always the best. But I will say Jackie Young has been struggling a lot and it's hurting Vegas. Jackie Young is really the key to Vegas. And when she struggles, I feel like it affects us the most. I'm not saying Asia being off doesn't affect us, but when is Asia off?
Well, I think it's because they like relied a lot on Jackie this year with Chelsea out for most of
Mm,
it, and then like Kelsey
mm-hmm.
being up and down a
Yeah.
lot, like on the offensive boards, and
Mm-hmm.
then the rest of them are bigs basically. So it's kind of like they really had to rely on her, and
Yeah.
she's probably tired to be honest. That girl's been playing a
I
lot.
think, you know what? And I think there's a lingering injury. I heard that, during the middle of the game, she had to hop on the bike. Like I think there's something off. And, she got sat by Becky because, she said she was banged up a little bit. And playing in the Olympics, playing as much as she did, I think it's affecting, her.
Dude, I
So
can't imagine like you're in the middle of a game and the trainer's like, get on the bike.
maybe she's stiff. I got to loosen
No,
it
I'm
up a little
getting
bit.
on this table and you're stretching me. Like, get on a bike as I've just ran for 30 minutes straight. That's crazy. That's another
Yeah,
level.
you're right. You're right. Some other like just recaps. I know Washington lost to Minnesota today, but Washington did give Minnesota a run for money. Minnesota only won by 7. Washington would be dangerous if they sneak in. Atlanta and Indiana went into OT. Indiana did win, but like I said, Ryan Howard is on fire. I think this after this game was her third or fourth consecutive
That was a
30-point game.
good game though. That was like
Yeah.
everyone actually did good in that game. Like there wasn't like a starter where I was like, oh, they're the reason that they lost.
Yeah.
Like both teams, like everyone was going at it. That was a good game.
Mm-hmm. And then Las Vegas was without Asia today, and they still almost beat New York. I don't even know how. I was like, wow, okay. But chemistry. You can
Sydney
see it.
Colson off the bench, 8 points.
I think we all
Ace of the
preach.
league.
I'm telling you, we've been preaching Sydney Colson needs more minutes. She's just an energy shifter, okay?
She is. Like, she's not going to be the one that goes and puts up 20 boards for you.
No,
but she's going to be the one that's like scrappy do and
exactly.
I did
terrorizing people on the field.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I did think Tiffany Hayes would step up and do a little bit better, and she really didn't.
Today?
So, yeah, she only had 7 points and like 3 rebounds.
But I will give Tiffany Hayes her flowers because you guys know number one hater. She has been doing good the last couple of games and have really helped Vegas out. I like what I'm seeing. She's looking good. So, go Tiffany. Okay, over to the standings. The standings, everyone. So, like I said, LA eliminated. We got Chicago, Atlanta, Washington, Dallas all competing for that 8th seed. Atlanta and Chicago are tied with 12 wins, but Chicago is playing Dallas right now. Do you have a score update, Megan, on that game?
Yeah, 50-74.
Who's winning?
Chicago.
Oh. So, looks like Chicago might be going up to that 13th win. And dang. I think it's going to come down to Atlanta, Chicago. I really want Washington to squeeze in there. My hopes for Dallas are gone. Obviously, if they lose, they're out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to come down to probably the last game. It's almost over. The season's almost over. What, a week and a half left after today? Any different changes? Any different predictions, people? You guys are still sticking with Atlanta? Yeah.
I mean, the way Chicago's been playing, man.
Without Angel Reese
I think
now?
Atlanta can slip in there, but Chicago though. Oh, I mean, look. I mean, I'm just seeing how they're playing Dallas right now. Yeah. So I don't know.
So you would say Chicago?
I'll stick with my pick from last week. I'll say Atlanta. Yeah.
I'm pulling for Washington. My heartstrings are pulling for Washington. So I'll be rooting for Washington this next week and a half. But New York is a 1 seed, Minnesota 2, Connecticut 3, Vegas 4, Seattle 5, Indiana 6, and Phoenix is 7. I think it might say like this. Seattle and Vegas. I think Vegas might stay 4. I'm hesitant to say that. Do you think? Okay,
I mean, either way, they're gonna
playing
each other.
Yeah, they're gonna play each other.
Yeah.
But Indiana goes on a win streak; they can bump up. Do you think that? Could you see Indiana moving into the 4 or 5 spot?
I think it'd be better odds for Indiana to get out of the first round if they're in a 4 or 5 spot.
That's close. I know Vegas has the harder schedule going out, for the season. Let me see who Indiana plays. Indiana plays Vegas twice. Okay. Vegas twice, Dallas, Washington. Ooh, wee! No, I don't think they're gonna jump up here. But Vegas plays Indiana, Connecticut, Seattle, Dallas. Jesus Christ. No, I don't think Indiana. I think Indiana stays at the 6th seed. What do you think, Meg?
I think that's tough. They're playing really good basketball.
Just make the prediction. You got it.
Yeah, I think they stay the 6th seed.
Okay. And Brooke, you said they could jump to 5 or 4?
Indiana?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could if they stay on this hot streak, but I mean, I'm not surprised either way, to be honest.
Yeah. But man, hopefully, a lot of people are saying Paige Beckers to Dallas. What do you guys think about that? You think? Pause before you answer that question. Would you rather see Paige Beckers in Dallas or LA?
The Bay.
Yeah, same.
Okay, what if? But we still don't know how we're gonna get that pick, though. How Valkyrie's gonna get that pick?
But that's where.
But we haven't been into it. We haven't seen an expansion draft. So, like in NWSL, they had the first pick. Well, they're not gonna have it anymore because they don't have the draft. But expansion teams get the first pick. That's typically how it goes.
Oh, I thought they just get a higher percentage when they do the lottery.
No.
Interesting.
But we don't know. I feel like it changes every year with a draft.
Yeah, I think it's gonna change.
But typically what I've seen is that any expansion team will get the first pick.
Dang, that sucks.
Yeah.
For the other teams.
Okay. Yeah, but they need help.
Yeah, okay, but if the Valkyrie don't get the first pick, would you rather see her in LA or Dallas?
Paige Beckers in LA or Dallas?
That's a hard question. I think LA's ceiling would be higher if she would fit in their system.
LA, and they're young, and that's a team that can continuously build. And LA, I can watch them. I can make a couple trips to LA.
Oh my God. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate your guys' support. Let us know your guys' opinions on all the topics we discussed today. But we'll be back next week for the Week 14 recap. And we'll see who gets that A seed. But thank you guys again. Hit that subscribe button. And we'll be back next week. Peace.
Peace.